Hey and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really exciting video. As you saw from the title, this is going to be my review and kind of overview of Be Layered and the 4 fragrances that personally I've tried. I have never tried Be Layered before I got these fragrances, but I've always kind of been curious. I know a bunch of people have reviewed them and talked about them throughout the years, and in particular I was curious about their inspired fragrances, their dupe fragrances, but they also do make their own original fragrances, which sound really great. And I watch their lives that they have weekly and people seem to really like them. So I was gonna get them, and especially because some of you had reached out and asked me for my opinion on them, I was gonna get them. And exactly when I started to actually go on their website to put in that order was when they scaled down and were only delivering to the United States because of the virus. So waited, and now things are back open. They're delivering, I think, worldwide or to many, many countries, including Canada. So it kind of worked out in that way that they also were in contact with me, and kindly I have 4 fragrances from them to kind of talk to you about. And yeah, we will get into it. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. And let's get started. So when you order from them, you can either get kind of their sampler sets where the fragrances come in these little like mini travel size fragrance bottles, and this really allows you, it's enough so you can see whether or not you like the fragrance because they have so much selection. You can also get them in the roller balls like this, and you can obviously get them in the bottles like this. So I have all 3 sizes to show you, and yeah, we will start with a sampler because that's the one I actually didn't pick out myself and they kindly just offered, and this is Runaway Love. So this is one of their original fragrances. It's not based or inspired off of anything, and the notes in this are sandalwood, rose, lychee, apple, and Egyptian aquatic notes. So this is one I didn't have my eye on when I was taking a look at the website, but after having smelled it, it smells very, very shampoo-y, and it smells specifically like a shampoo that I cannot place, and I was trying to go through my shampoo stash to see if I still had it, but it's very much like an elevated herbal essence-esque fragrance. The, the floralness, the rose, and I guess the lychee keep it, more elevated and more interesting and not so, straight herbal essences, but I think it's that apple and the fruitiness and just the cleanness of it that just reminds me of an herbal essences shampoo, a very fruity floral one. And it's beautiful. This is one that, based off the notes, I would have just thought, is kind of like average run of the mill, especially apple, because I really don't tend to like apple as a note in my fragrances. But in this one, it really brings a fruitiness to it that I am enjoying, which isn't always the case. A cleanness and a shampoo-iness, and I do love a shampoo-y, soapy fragrance for sure, and we'll get to an even soapier one in just a little bit. So yeah, in the reviews that I've seen of this, no one's really described this as being shampoo-y or soapy, and I don't think it's an extreme shampoo-y, soapy fragrance by any means, but the fruity floralness of it have a clean, not powdered, but a very clean, like lathery, shampoo-y feel, and I just love it. I think it's really, really beautiful. This would definitely be like rollerball or full bottle worthy for me. But yeah, I've actually used this sample quite a number of times, and I still feel like I have a lot of it left. I haven't even gotten halfway, so these little bottles are very deceiving, at least for Runaway Love. I feel like I can get a good amount of sprays in this, honestly. And yeah, it lasts a pretty good time. It's definitely not a skin scent. There's 2 of these fragrances that lasted through a shower and 2 that didn't, but across the board, they were all pretty good long lasting. They had good projection, and this is one of the ones that washed away in the shower, but a lot of the fragrances are going to do that. The other two, it's just a testament to how strong that they are, that they were still on my skin after a shower. So that is Runaway Love, and based on the sample, I think it's totally full bottle or rollerball, like purse spray worthy. So the second fragrance I actually got in one of these roller balls, not roller balls, the purse sprays, sorry, excuse me, the purse sprays. And this is one I picked out myself. This is the other soapy one, Danielle's Milk Bath. And out of the Be Layered fragrances, this isn't one that's super, super talked about, but ever since it came out and I was looking at all the fragrances online to pick which ones I wanted, this just totally stood out to me. I mean, it sounded like it was going to be completely up my alley, and it just lists 3 notes. It has jasmine, lilac, and iris, but basically it's described as being very clean, very milky, very shampoo soapy, and I just thought that was totally up my alley. So it was the case. It is a very white, soapy fragrance. Some people think it smells like white bar soap, and I definitely get that feel. I still feel like it's stronger and more elevated than just like smelling like Dove, for example. And there's much more of a sweetness than bar of soap white cleanness, but that is a really good base level into trying to understand this if you are gonna just blind buy it and not get it in a sampler pack. You definitely have to like soapy fragrances, and very much like bar soap fragrances. This is a very creamy, white, floral, sweet, soapy fragrance. I love it, and it's so completely up my alley and very much what I'm into. Not for an everyday, like day-to-day scent, but when I want something soapy, I don't mind if it gets to this extreme level of a soapy fragrance. However, I will say, I can see how this would maybe be too much for someone who isn't ready to like dive in the deep end of a soapy fragrance, whereas Runaway Love is kind of best of both worlds, floral and shampoo-y. This is truly a very creamy, white, yeah, very, very soap, bar soap type fragrance. I love it. It's completely up my alley. I'm so glad to have got it. And again, I feel like I've used it so much, and it's only like barely even a dent, if at all, because you just really don't need that much or that many sprays, really. And I'm an oversprayer, and you can definitely get away with not spraying that many sprays and get a good scent and projection and sillage out of this. Even with something that a soapy fragrance isn't always going to be the strongest, this is quite strong. This again is one of these two are the ones that washed off in the shower, but that is just like an extreme other like second level test that I just do sometimes to see how it's going to react, because there are fragrances that will last through showers and there are that don't. But having said that, it's very, very strong, very beautiful. And I just love it. I think it's perfect. It's obviously beautiful to wear after a shower, and I've done that. But I think even if you've got like a crisp white button down or like a clean t-shirt, it's just a very, very nice and more elevated take on like a clean white t-shirt type fragrance. So Danielle's Milk Bath, totally recommend. I already have it in a rollerball, but for me personally, it is full bottle worthy. But I think for a lot of people, they will just have to see kind of what their interest is in how soapy they're willing to go, because I just love this and I cannot recommend it enough. So the third fragrance I got, actually the next two, were both those inspired fragrances that I mentioned. And the first one I got is again in one of these purse sprays, and it's Dark Temptation. It's got a darker juice here, and this one was inspired by Oud Bouquet, I believe, right? Yes, Oud Bouquet by Lancome. So I've never had or sprayed Oud Bouquet, so I can't speak to its like authenticity of how much it's a match, but the notes in this are rose, oud, saffron, vanilla, and some woody notes. And I brought along my L'Autre Oud by Lancome, which is, albeit not exactly what it's based off of, but this is another oudy fragrance in that same line. So what I will say of this, and I'll spray it here, this one lasted through the shower, no problem. Honestly, it probably even got more wearable for a lot of people if you're not a huge oud lover. Then after a shower is kind of when it settles down and becomes much more of a wearable fragrance. I, however, love oud, and it's beautiful. I'll compare it to this in case you do have l'autre oud like myself, because I also can't compare it to oud bouquet. This l'autre oud is a lot drier, more bitter, more unisex oud than oud bouquet. Oud bouquet is sweeter. I feel like I get vanilla or tonka bean in this, and it's got a more sweet rose as well, whereas this, the rose in this, again, just keeps it a lot more dry. I think it's beautiful, and there's definitely an occasion for this, and I love it, but I'm really glad that I have the B-layered version of Oud Bouquet, because now I kind of get to have both of those levels. I never did get around to getting Oud Bouquet in from Lancôme, Maison Lancôme, but now with this, I feel like from what I've heard from others, it's a good enough match, if not an identical match, that I don't feel the need to get another full oud fragrance, another like an actual Oud Bouquet. But this is really beautiful. I can see why this was such a favorite for so many people, because it's a rosy oud, and like once you've had a couple, you can feel as though you probably got that whole genre and you don't need to dabble into getting a full bottle of every single one. But if, like me, you love a rosy oud, you still really want to try them out, or at least I do. And I feel like this was the best way for me to do that. I love it. I think it's stunning. I've even worn it now, you know, in super hot, humid weather. And though I don't think it's like the best time of year, there is something intoxicating about it that keeps me drawn to it. So I really love this. I cannot wait to wear this in colder weather. As with this, l'autre oud, I feel like they're really gonna bloom and shine even more beautifully. But until now, I've really liked this, and it's kind of been the softer, more sweeter version, I suppose, of this, which is totally out of season, but I really do love this as well. So yeah, love this, and personally I can understand the hype over Dark Temptation because it's stunning and I totally recommend. And again, personally for me, it is definitely full bottle worthy. And finally, the best for last, I suppose, this is the only one I have in a full bottle, and it's First Kiss Exclusive, which is another of their inspired fragrances. Basically, they have First Kiss, which is supposed to be Delina, and they have First Kiss Exclusive, which is supposed to be Delina Exclusive. And I have regular Delina, so I didn't want to get the First Kiss to try to compare. I wanted to get First Kiss Exclusive as a easier, less expensive way to try out First Kiss Exclusive, or to try out Delina Exclusive without getting a full bottle. So this is supposed to be much more tart, and this is supposed to be a lot more creamy and supposedly have oud in there as well, I think. So I was really looking forward to getting this one because the hype around both Delina Exclusive and First Kiss Exclusive is very big, and everyone talks about performance and lasting power, and I just have to say that because there was so much hype, I was really prepared on feeling like pretty meh or having a lot of bad things to say about this one, just to kind of even out the review, because everything has been so complimentary on this that I've read, and I just can't lie, I really do like it. I really do. Like, I love it. It's a lot creamier, it's more woody, it's stronger. I mean, I can't speak to it being a perfect match for Delina Exclusive because I've never tried that. It's definitely different from Delina. Delina's a lot more tart, a lot more, yeah, I just get a lot more of like rhubarb and lychee, and it's a little more fruity, it's a little more sharp, and it's a little more youthful, personally, to my nose. The only I still really like Delina. I know there's a lot of hype around it. It's not for everyone. I do enjoy it. It just doesn't last as long on my skin as I would hope, especially for a niche fragrance. But First Kiss Exclusive lasted through a shower, lasted through over 10 hours. This is a huge powerhouse fragrance. It's insane. I mean, I'll spray only one spray on my arm right now, and it's gonna be there for the rest of the day, into the night, maybe tomorrow. It's insane how strong this is, and I love that. I love that about it. It's definitely creamy. I've had other people smell this on me and say that they get a lot of like creamy woods, and it's definitely more woody than Delina, for sure. It's like, Delina isn't something I would describe as being woody, but I really do like it, and I feel like I need to try and layer them next to see how I would like that, because I know people love layering First Kiss and First Kiss exclusive, or the two Delinas, and I actually have never layered them together, so I'll have to layer them. Personally, I love this. I do have it in a full bottle, and I 100% think it's full bottle worthy, and I also feel like if you have one of these like myself, and you really want to try the other, or you're curious whether it's be exclusive or not, it might be worth it to get the be layered version for the other one, the one that you're missing, because I just feel like, based off of what people have described it, it's a pretty good match. People have said the same thing, and it just saves you that huge difference in money, so that you're able to actually try other fragrances that maybe aren't too close. My whole worry was that Delina exclusive was just going to be too similar to this and have just as poor lasting power, and that I just feel like I was stuck with two of kind of the same thing. And if it's anything like this, then they're definitely different enough to my nose where it is well worth it to have both if you're into that sort of fragrance. So totally love. I've had a great experience, obviously, in like very slightly just working with them in reviewing these. I've really liked them. It's made me infinitely more curious about trying more from them. So definitely leave me in the comments below which one of these you've tried, which other Be Layered fragrances you've tried. And yeah, I'd love to chat with you guys about it, because this, although it's not new for so many of you, I bet, this is like very new for me, and I'm really just liking it. I've liked all four, which I didn't expect, honestly, to love that much. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.